Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the regularly scheduled Mayor and Council meeting for June 28, 2021. Please join me for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Before we go to agenda item number 1, our town administrator, Jeff Fleetwood, will give us just a little bit of housekeeping stuff to keep us safe from COVID-19.
If you've not been up here before, out in the hallway, there is a restroom on the opposite side. There's plenty of hand soap, hot water, and paper towels, so utilize that as needed. There is a water fountain out here as well where you can fill your bottles or your cups. And if you should leave the building, you came up the stairwell, you can go down that door as a panic bar, just hit it and go right on out.
Thank you. The first item on our regular session agenda is the approval of the executive session minutes from June 14th, 2021.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion by Councilmember Horace.
Second.
I have a second by Councilmember Nur. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Let the vote reflect that all council members are present and the executive session minutes for June 14th passed unanimously. I'll now read the statement of closure from June 14th. The meeting was held on June 14th, 2021 at 6:30 p.m. The location was the Mayor and Council chambers, followed by the conference room. The purpose of the closed session was to discuss the Berlin Fire Company and Berlin Fire Company EMS FY22 draft agreements. The date and time that we returned back to a public meeting was June 14th, 2021 at 7 p.m. The motion was made by Councilmember Orris, second by Councilmember Nur. All council members were present and voted in favor. The statutory authority to close the session was closed under the following provisions of the General Provisions Article 3-305B, item number 14, before a contract is awarded or bids are opened, to discuss a matter directly related to a negotiating strategy or the contents of a bid or proposal, if the public discussion or disclosure would adversely impact the ability of the public body to participate in the competitive bidding or proposal process. The items that were discussed were the draft FY22 agreements for the Berlin Fire Company and Berlin Fire Company EMS. And I think that's it. All right. So, agenda item number 1C is the approval of the regular session minutes from June 14th, 2021.
I just have a minor correction, Mr. Mayor, and I've already spoken to Kelsey about but just so everyone knows. Page 2, item 2, review of the mayor's veto with opportunity for public comment. Second line, made several amendments that lead him should be led in.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
and with that, if there's no other corrections, I'll make a motion to approve.
All right. So I have a motion by Councilmember Orris and a second by Councilmember Burrell. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And the regular session minutes passed unanimously for June 14th, 2021. Agenda item number 2, motion 2021-12, authorizing an attached list of contracts for vendors for fiscal year 2022. The town administrator, Jeff Fleetwood, is going to run point on that.
Mayor and council, the list is pretty much the standard contracts that we have approved on an annual basis. I do wish to point out that the last bullet, PKS Investment Advisors, you can see where it's indicated tentative, so I'm not asking for approval for PKS. The mayor, the finance director, and myself are meeting Wednesday with PKS, so we'll come back for a separate, seek separate approval for that contract, should we want to move forward with that. The contracts that we're looking at for FY22, Angels Touch Cleaning Services, that organization cleans our public restrooms and restrooms in Town Hall, Planning, and the Welcome Center, and the value of that contract is $12,000. Booth and Associates, those are the folks that do our electrical interface engineering, if you will. again, seeking a contract not to exceed $100,000 with them. Cards Technology, the annual service agreement and continuity is $40,680. Davis, Bowen, and Friedel, not to exceed $100,000. EA Engineering and Science and Technology, not to exceed $100,000. Davis, Bowen, and EA are our stormwater, streets design, wastewater. I think we all know what they do for us. Jarman's Cleaning Services, that is the organization that the police department is contracted with to clean the police station on an annual basis. And then, again, our annual contract with the Worcester Youth and Family, and that amount remains at $40,000. All of those contracts, there's no change in their dollar amount from 21 to 22.
The only other thing that I'll add, just so that everybody's aware, with PKS, we are going to evaluate one of the items for discussion on Wednesday is sticking with a 3-year agreement versus a 1-year agreement. So we're going to evaluate the cost savings on that. And when you look at these contracts, the town administrator has sent over a document outlining the last time they went to bid. We are going to probably start developing a fiscal year strategy for taking some of these contracts to bid. But when you look at some of the vendors that we have in front of us, they're rather complex. So to build out the RFP process, we are going to need to lean on some other agencies, probably some of which being a state agency. So just so that everybody's aware, we are asking for the approval of these except for PKS, but we are looking to try and take some of those to bid in the future FYs.
Motion to approve the list of vendors.
Second.
So I have a motion by Councilmember Nur and a second by Councilmember Burrell. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, let the record reflect that all of the list of contractors or contracts for FY22, with the exception of PKS, were approved by the council unanimously. Item number 3 is the town administrator's report.
Hey Mayor, Council, again, good evening. I just want to share, if you haven't seen it, I know I sent out an email about it. I want to publicly acknowledge the Maryland State Highway Administration, and particularly Mike Marble. What is Mike's title, Jimmy?
He's assistant
To Jay?
to Jay, yes.
He's the assistant to Jay Meredith. Mike has been most receptive, and if you haven't noticed, down in front of the library on Harrison Avenue, the State Highway actually agreed to put that sidewalk in for us. They're also going to install a crosswalk from Harrison to the library. So again, I want to publicly acknowledge Mike Barber. I will remind everyone that Saturday evening scheduled at dusk will be the Berlin fireworks. The location again is Heron Park, and the time that starts is dusk. So we're looking at probably 9:15, 9:30ish.
You might want to mention there is no rain date for that.
There is no rain date, thank you. Okay. And again, to the public, the mayor and council have approved for this coming Friday a town holiday, if you will, for town staff. So town offices will be closed, and that holiday is so that the town is recognizing the new federal holiday of Juneteenth. And then on Monday, that is when the town is actually celebrating the 4th of July. So town offices will be closed both of those days. We have as well, the town has hit the send button, if you will, for our Sustainable Maryland recertification. We're waiting on feedback, but that's a standard. You shoot it off, and then that committee reviews it and then makes comment, and you make the adjustment. So that concludes my report.
Thank you. Just to reiterate, the Juneteenth holiday was approved. So typically, the mayor and council approve our calendar holidays in one lump sum, but with the creation of a new federal holiday, we did send that out for a poll vote from the council, just so everybody's aware, and that was done unanimously. All right, so the next item on the agenda is the departmental reports, and we'll take those starting with Dave Engelhardt from Planning and Zoning.
I have nothing further, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. And then we'll go to our electric utility, Tim Lawrence.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have a few things. Big project I want to talk about is down at 113 Schofield Street. That's our electric department shop. The 48 kW solar system is completed. It actually is going through inspection tomorrow, electrical inspection and I guess building inspection, I guess. But I know the electrical side is being inspected tomorrow, and if it passes, we should be able to turn the system on pretty soon, within a week or so, I would say.
And let's add to that real quick for everyone.
Right.
There will be announced at some point in the very near future, a ribbon cutting. And folks will be invited from the public. We're hoping to have MEA Dr. Tung here as well. We're hoping as well that maybe we can get Governor Hogan back.
And definitely extend an invitation to our delegation from District 38. They were very supportive of for everybody that's watching, the RPS legislation that we were proactive with this last legislative cycle. They were very supportive with that, and part of it is geared towards renewables, which solar panels actually.
And that system that was installed, the cost for that, Tim, correct me where I'm wrong, it was just north of 120,000.
Around 122.
Again, that was at no cost to the town. And again, that said, I don't know if anyone from Carter Cat's tuned in on Facebook, but definitely want to acknowledge Carter Cat because they've agreed to front load and pay the bill. Once we get the inspection, then we can have the state give us the grant money, and then we'll give it back to Carter Cat.
Correct, yes. Second thing I wanted to talk about is we have started peak shaving for the summer. We actually started today and we ran from 2 o'clock to about 6:20. We're most likely going to run again tomorrow and Wednesday. The forecast is in the 90s. If it's anything like today, we're definitely going to run again. And as far as we're going to be out and about in people's yards this week, meter reading. So if you get any calls or anything, that's us. But we're all wearing shirts that identify who we are now. It has Berlin Electric on the back, and so hopefully they know who we are. So, okay.
Thank you.
That's it.
Any questions for our Electric Utility Director, Tim Lawrence? All right.
Oh, one more thing I forgot. Dave just reminded me about something. I received a call last week concerning a solar system going in town on a new home that's being built. It's going to be the first solar system of its kind in the town of Berlin. The shingles are actually going to be made out of the material that produces the solar. You won't see like the panels that are on the rooftops now. So the roof is actually going to be made out of it.
The shingles are cells.
Yep, they're the photoviolet cells.
Wow.
The shingles are.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
What's the ability for generation with those versus the panel?
I don't really know that. That's it's a new technology. I don't know if it's new, but it's new to us. Like I said, this is the first one of its kind that I've seen. It's made by Tesla, that's the name of the company, and we'll see how it turns out.
I would think that the surface area of those, if you add them up, is just like the square footage or surface area of a big panel, so
It's just little
probably
miniature
designed to
panels.
handle the load
Yeah.
to go with the size of the house, so
Right.
we got a little learning curve there too coming up. So.
Yeah, it's a
That's
little
pretty
more
interesting.
expensive than your traditional type panels.
That's understandable.
Aesthetics. Look better.
We'll see how it looks.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right. Up next is our Police Chief, Arnold Downs.
We're just going to speak to the fireworks. We want everyone to know that Berlin First Baptist is going to have parking for individuals. Sunrise is also going to have additional parking. We will be locking down Ocean City Boulevard as soon as the park and the area is full. So we'll keep you pushing away. You will be able to go ahead and watch the fireworks from, Buckingham Intermediate School and anywhere that's actually, close by. So again, you don't have to be at Heron Park to go ahead and see the fireworks. That's all I have to report.
Thank you. Any questions for the Chief of Police? All right. Dave, do you have anything you want to?
I do not.
All right. Up next is Water Resources, Jamie Latches.
I have nothing.
Okay, thank you. And then our Superintendent of Public Works, Jimmy Charles.
I have a couple things, Mayor and Council. Well, sanitation department, sanitation and recycling is doing a great job. We're seeing a limited number of calls each week. Streets, I'd like to start off by thanking all the departments for the help this morning. Team Berlin was out cleaning the Main Street area for the visit of Governor Hogan today. Sidewalks and streets were clean. We had some lower branch limbs that we trimmed up. The town looked great for the governor's walk down through town today. It was a great effort by the team in Berlin. This week we'll be addressing the Heron Park area, getting ready for the fireworks, doing all the mowing and clearing of that area for the Saturday, July 3rd fireworks. Last week we addressed Decatur Park. We did a lot of mowing, weed trimming all around the tree areas, and we added engineered grade mulch to the last playground area. So every piece of equipment and exercise area has all had new mulch added this year. Henry Park was completed about 4 weeks ago. Last, with the budget passed at the last meeting, we met with Mike Molan from the Maryland Industrial Truck Incorporated. We come to an agreement to purchase a new Elgin Regener X sweeper. Delivery date is projected the last week of July.
Very nice. I think saying that everything looked great for the governor was an understatement. We couldn't have asked for better weather. I know you and your department and town staff really pulled a rabbit out of the hat with, I'm glad that we got those branches trimmed because that was the side that we ended up on.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything looked amazing and thank you again.
And if I may, Mayor, real quick, Jimmy, Jamie, Tim, and Arlen, when you say it was a collective effort this morning for folks to jump through the hoop, they did. Not one complaint. Somebody said, what did these folks volunteer? I said, yeah, absolutely, they were voluntold. But it turned out, and I personally, to not only to you folks in here, but to the folks that were out there today, Claude and Alan and Tommy and all of them, very much appreciated, and even to your folks, Arlen, because they were very helpful to me as well. So thank you to me.
And we should self-report. We broke the noise.
We broke the noise ordinance this morning, so
By 30 minutes. So everybody that's watching,
apologize.
you know that we broke the noise ordinance by 30 minutes.
I got the answer for that though, Mayor.
Okay, go ahead.
To the taxpayers of the town, I had a choice. Break the noise ordinance by 30 minutes or pay the overtime over the weekend.
I think it was a fair return.
Okay?
Yeah, we just found out about it Friday.
All right, and then up next is any questions for Jimmy Charles? Okay, up next is our administrative manager, Kelsey Jensen.
I just want to let you guys know that last meeting I told you we were interviewing 4 people, I'm sorry, for the Public Works Equipment Operator position. And we killed 2 birds with 1 stone there. We hired someone for that position, and then we had another person we really liked, so we hired him for the vacancy in water. So we got 2 people out of 1 set of interviews, so that worked well. And then we do finally have a kind of part-time seasonal employee. He started out as a volunteer, and we decided to bring him on seasonally. He's going to be here just on Fridays, so nice young guy. So, and then lastly, I just wanted to mention that we partnered with the county for August 15th to join in their Jolly Rogers Day, so they're giving us discounted tickets offered to employees, and then we have access to the pavilion and grills, and you can bring your own food, and it should be a nice day. It's August 15th, which is a Sunday. So if you are interested in attending, please let me know, and I can get you guys added to our list. So that's all I have.
And the employees are paying for their tickets, so
Yes,
folks don't misconstrue that.
It's just discounted.
The town is going to pay the tax on the ticket.
Which is nominal.
It's
is
amusement tax of 3%, so it's very nominal.
Yeah, I think it's less than $5 per ticket.
Yes,
Okay.
it's 60 cents per ticket.
And you ran point on all of this, and it's been a nice little coordination, so thank you for that.
Yep, hopefully it's something that we get a good turnout and can continue in future years, maybe even have our own
I mean,
day.
you can't spend your $20 any better.
I know.
I don't.
All right, any questions for Kelsey? All right, so that concludes the departmental reports. I don't think I'm missing anyone. And now we'll move on to comments from the council, and we'll start with Vice President Burrell.
I don't have a thing.
Do you want to bring up the item that you were,
No, I think I need to ask Dave some questions
Okay.
before I bring it up.
okay, that's perfect. So then we'll go to Troy.
I'm good, thank you.
All right, Jay?
I just want to say it was great to have the governor in town. He did a nice presentation on his new project, and I also had a great conversation with Secretary Brinkley. We talked a lot about Heron Park. He was very interested in what we were attempting to do there, and the demolition grant we applied for, so hopefully that will lead to good things, so.
Very good. Thank you. Councilwoman Nichols?
Today was phenomenal. Jimmy Charles, I love that the blue was painted, and I almost thought I almost stepped on it today, but I didn't. So, but I love that, I didn't.
I did.
Oh, but it was,
You're the one that tracked it down the street.
it wasn't me. So kudos to you guys on that. Today it was great. I mean, you know, by habit, you're always checking back and forth, making sure you're watching the traffic flow so you don't get hit by anything. But to see the police officers out there and no traffic coming from any direction was kind of nice, so we appreciate that. And, yeah, good job, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Councilmember Morris?
I just wanted to kind of let everyone know that Councilmember Nichols, Mayor Tyndall, and myself are in day 2 of MML. Tomorrow's the final day, and so far, it's obviously our first time, and it's been really educational, so I think it's
Well, tell them what
worth.
MML stands for. People
Oh,
don't
yes,
know.
I'm sorry. Maryland Municipal League, their summer conference is in Ocean City yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So far it's been really, I think, time well spent. So, and thanks to Kelsey and staff for helping us get registered and get that taken care of. And also, my other thing is just have a happy and safe 4th of July.
And I'll piggyback on what Councilmember Orris said for a moment about MML. You sit in some of these workshops in which you get the opportunity to do is really hear from other organizations to see what's going well and ways that we can improve. And Councilmember Orris and I sat in a workshop where something that we all may take for granted, like social media, and the level of policies that are evolving and ways to keep our town current. So we were both taking a lot of notes and look forward to sharing some of that information as well. And I think, Jay, you're going to tune into the virtual portion, right?
I am not able to do that.
Okay. Well, then hopefully we'll have you with us next year.
Next year.
So,
This year.
Oh, I will give you a heads up, guys, of kudos. There was the mayor pro temp for Berwyn Heights today shared that they have been following how operations go on here in the town of Berlin, and they've been giving some hints and tips on how to do some things. And she did say today, she was super excited first thing this morning, that to meet someone from Berlin, to share and to say thank you for some of the things that we have in place here that they've been able to adhere to, follow, and it's working for them. So kudos to Berlin.
thank you. It's good. All right. There it is. We'll move on to comments from the mayor. The only thing that I have in addition to things that have been echoed this evening, the thank you for everybody that took part in Governor Hogan's arrival and making sure that was seamless, and our business community that helped out as well. And what I'll say is that, just a reminder, our Heron Park recycling is going to be going by the wayside, I think, this week? So the single stream will be no longer, it'll all be curbside. So if you have a question about when your curbside pickup is, you can visit our town website under, what is it? Is it under sanitation or is it under recycling?
In the recycling.
Okay, and maybe what we'll do is we'll share that also in a link just so it's fresh for everybody on our social media. But just remember that we do have curbside available to every resident. And that concludes my comments. And do we have any comments from the public? All right. And do we have any comments from the press?
Seeing none, move to
Yeah,
adjourn.
thank you. Second from, I have a motion to adjourn from Councilmember Burrell, a second from Councilmember Purnell. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? And the adjournment passes unanimously. So let's take 5 minutes, and at 7:30, we will begin our work session on short-term rental.
You leaving again?
So look, when I got back there.
Yes, sir.